Helping Seniors Television, all about improving quality of life for seniors. If you're a senior, know a senior, or plan to be a senior, then this show is for you. It's all about helping you develop your own aging plan so you can age actively and with dignity. Helping Seniors Television, from the Helping Seniors Network of information, education, and resources.
Learn about Golden Providers, business-to-business networking for businesses serving seniors.
I'm Kerry Fink. Welcome to Helping Seniors Television. On behalf of our president and founder, Joe Steckler, we're welcoming you to the television show that is designed to inform, educate, and connect you to resources that will help you as you make and develop your own aging plan. What's an aging plan, you might ask? Well, that's a tool that will help you navigate your life's journey. We always go, you can only, there's a funny expression, it says you can only be young once, but you can be immature forever. But the point is, why not be young once, but let's be wise as we go into our old ages and enjoy the time that we have the best way that we can, given all the circumstances and parameters. We live in Florida, so we understand the idea and the concept of a hurricane plan, right? They tell us it's hurricane season. You need to be prepared. These are the things you need to. You need to stock up on batteries, make sure you have a supply of water. Are you going to board your windows? Are you going to leave your home? All those kind of things they ask us. It doesn't mean we want a hurricane to hit our house. We just want to have the best plan in place in case it does. And that's the whole point of an aging plan. We're not wishing anything bad to happen on anybody at any point. We just know that statistically challenges do come up as we age, and we might as well be in a position to be ahead of the curve instead of always racing to catch up. And I can tell you from having talked with financial planners, real estate experts, talking to folks that are in the elder law community, that everybody says, I can tell you the story where I wish I had met somebody a few days, few weeks earlier in that particular situation, because I would have been able to help them so much more. As it was, because of whatever transpired, we're now limited to just a few options. So at Helping Seniors of Brevard, we've come up with this term just to make it a little bit more lighthearted. We call it helping you get your ducks in a row. But the message is still just as important. We want to help you design an aging plan that's going to help you navigate your life's journey. So with that, today, we're going to have fun sharing on something that's an interesting topic. It is about the aging process. We find good agencies that we as Helping Seniors like to partner with. One such agency is Golden Providers. Golden Providers, Joe Steckler founded Helping Seniors of Brevard in 2011 after a very successful run with what he was doing in developing the Brevard Alzheimer's Foundation, which is the group that created Joe's Clubs. They call them Joe's Clubs to this day. It's adult senior daycare that is available to give caregivers a chance to do some things and also to give the people that they're caregiving for a good opportunity to get out and be a little bit social as well. Well, when Joe retired from that, Joe was a retired Navy captain, by the way. His last command in the Navy was he was in charge of the Navy's retirement home in Gulfport, Mississippi, and I think that gave him a lifelong passion and reason to advocate on behalf of seniors. So he and his lovely wife Terry retire here to Satellite Beach in Brevard County. Joe can't stay retired. He builds up the Brevard Alzheimer's Foundation, gets Joe's Club established, tries to retire, can't stay retired. He creates Helping Seniors of Brevard in 2011 because he said since that time he'd come to realize that seniors face a lot of issues, not just aging or memory issues, but they face things like housing, transportation, legal, medical, financial, and more. And so 11 years ago, we created the Helping Seniors Information Helpline at 321-473-7770. I'll say that number again, 321-473-7770. And that number has helped more than 4,500 families absolutely free of charge. Helping Seniors is a 501c3 nonprofit. It gets over 400 calls a month on a typical month and tries to help people in every direction possible. One of the things, though, as a nonprofit is it makes sense to partner up with other nonprofits. And so today we're going to talk about a nonprofit called Golden Providers. And I'm here with the president of Golden Providers. His name is Tom Taranto. How are you, Tom?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
You know, by profession, you are a expert realtor. You have Team Taranto as part of the Keller Williams family here in Brevard County. Yep. You guys are like correct. Top real estate agents. We've done TV programs about the work that you guys do in the community. But it was interesting to find out that a real estate agent would think it's important to take the time to not only be involved in a group like Golden Providers, but actually to take the reins of it and say, I want to help grow this organization. Talk a little bit about Golden Providers and what it means.
Yeah, so there's several pillars of what Golden Providers is and what it provides for members and people that would like to be members. And one of the things that it provides is it's a business network. So you've got people that meet together under the general understanding that they're interested in helping seniors, they're interested in making sure that the seniors in our community are taken care of, and often they are promoting their business as well. So that's part of it, is that we have once a month a networking meeting where we meet together and able to pass business cards, get to know different people in the community. A lot of them are specialists in something to do with seniors. And we also have general vendors such as a handyman or a painter or just different things that everybody needs, but that have proven themselves to be trustworthy, that we're happy to add them to our network. So when I first was told that there was a spot on Golden Providers, it was because I've always been into business networking. That goes back to my previous career. I have just seen the benefit of, in my schedule, make sure that I get out and go and meet new people. Mm-hmm. Always get out there and just make sure that it's in the calendar. And this is just once a month, so it's kind of a no-brainer. What I didn't fully realize at the time was how much I didn't know about seniors. And I because my job isn't exclusive to seniors, so I didn't realize that this is such a huge part of our community. And actually, I realized it later that it's actually a huge part of my client base. Yeah. And a lot of the experiences that I had had in the past and experiences that I've had in the last 7 years or so, because I've been more aware of the issues that seniors face and how they can be vulnerable, how they can be taken advantage of or defrauded, and understanding like what can be happening out there and how I can be a great resource to them. What it's given me, besides networking and getting great business referrals from people in the group, has been the other pillar of Golden Providers is the knowledge that is shared. It is through presentations at our meetings, through one-to-one meetings that we have outside and getting to know different members. It's just getting a much deeper knowledge of different issues. It could be anything from elder law, it could be someone who has an assisted living, someone who does in-home care, or different people who have specialties connected to seniors, helping them find placement. I met recently someone who cooks for seniors in their home. Wow. And we've got people who can help in the downsizing process. Was it like professional organizers, people who can help remove estate sale experts. So two things: the networking, the possibility of getting some business out of it, and the other is the education. And then more recently, what we've been putting into this package is that we're adding video, which is the members, whether it be that they're giving a presentation that is educational and is really something that there might be 30 people in the room, which is great. You got 30 people showed up, they're hearing this great presentation, whether it's 10 minutes or 15 minutes or 30 minutes. The sad part is that when they leave, it's only 30 people, and we know how our memories are, so you'll remember 10% of it. So with the video, we've got footage of the presentations, both from a marketing perspective and also from the educational perspective, that someone just said some really good stuff about that particular topic, whether it's their business and what they do, or a general presentation about how to help seniors, and we can capture it. We might have 6,000 views by the time we're done on that video.
Right.
So for all of the benefit of the group, that's something that I'm really excited about that we're doing now, and growing the value of the group.
You know, with the Golden Providers, that education component has been important. Having been involved with it, I remember when Golden Providers, for example, did a whole seminar on downsizing, and you brought in people who could speak to the real estate side of it, people who were like professional organizers that could help you figure out how to get packed up. I think you had a moving company and talk about how to actually make the move painless, and all these different aspects, including what you might get if you were willing to consider something in assisted living, as people make decisions about.
And the recording's still online, by the way, so if anyone's interested, we got a whole hour program that we did on downsizing.
That's right. And then another one that I remember, which was really pretty cool, Phil Archer, who's our area state attorney, came out and spoke, along with some banking experts and others, about fraud prevention, and how, as a senior, sadly, many of the frauds and things that are out there target seniors. But this was great insight into just kind of how to avoid that. And then recently at a meeting, I remember, for example, you getting up and talking about the work that you and Team Taranto do at Keller Williams. I remember Ashley Caswell from Hibiscus Court standing up and sharing about what assisted living can be like there. And I love the line that she came up with. She said, the only two requirements is you have to not like cooking and not like doing house cleaning, and then you're actually already halfway here. Yeah. See, it was funny how she dispelled some of the common stereotypes we have. And then Golden Providers was kind enough to offer Nancy Deerdorf, who's our operations specialist, a chance to get up and speak about what we do as a nonprofit. So it's every meeting you work to make sure there's like really good information that's going to help people and help them understand nuances of maybe we didn't know going into it.
And another one I recall was about safety at home.
Yes.
I mean, at what point is it no longer safe? Maybe the grab bars and and things in the house. And another one I recall was having the talk.
Yes.
which is really something that I recognize is like, as my own parents get older and I see other people's parents get older, at what point do you have that talk about certain things that they shouldn't be doing anymore? Like, should dad still be on the ladder cleaning the gutters? Right. Does that make any sense? Should he be out in the heat, cutting the lawn when it's 100 degrees out? And some people, should mom still be driving when she can't barely turn her head, and so the talk, and in this case, maybe the talk about, is it time for a change in living circumstances? And very interesting things. I had a personal experience where it really touched home for me. I had a neighbor, my next door neighbor had kind of a crisis, a crisis in her situation. And she was in her 90s at the time. And I went over next door and just kind of understood the full extent of her crisis. And it was really that she couldn't live on her own, but it was coming to just a really bad meltdown. And I had no idea what to do in that situation, like at that moment. And I ended up calling some of the Golden Providers members, again, people I've met through a number of years. And I called and got some really helpful input. In fact, I not only got input, one of the members actually came to my house, because I brought the neighbor over to my house. She came to my house, and I understood that the advice that she gave me and the contacts she had to help out were things I didn't have. Right. So that being said, it didn't give me the full understanding of what to do, but I knew who to call.
Right.
If I hadn't been a member, I hadn't met these people, I wouldn't have known who to call. And it ended up where she was able to get the help she needed right then on that day. And I have no idea what would have happened if I hadn't known who to call.
You know, and that's so important too, is what you're referring to, I think is really a cornerstone, because I know when Golden Providers was first established, and I believe that was 2010 or 2011 also. So it's been in operation for quite a period of time. But I remember one of the ideas that the Golden Providers had wanted to do was to help businesses understand some of the nuances of working with seniors, like just issues like contracting. Like, we think it's very simple, but I remember a story where one of the car dealers was explaining a story. Some older gentleman had come in, certainly had the credit and everything else, signs for a new car, but then the problem was that he didn't have the capacity to sign the contract. And so the whole deal had to become undone, because, you know, there are just challenges when you're dealing with seniors, you know? And so as a person, if you're in the senior business, you know, maybe you work with assisted living, or maybe you work with physical therapy, or maybe you work with home health, there's then you have that grounding. But if you're an air conditioning repair expert, or a mechanic expert, or you do different things that don't necessarily deal with seniors, you may be completely flabbergasted by some of the things you might run into.
Yeah, and I think that awareness is something that I really appreciate. And again, now I look forward to meeting seniors, because I recognize that I have probably more resources and slowly getting that knowledge to be able to help. And I end up in situations where I'm working with clients in some cases, and I'm thinking to myself, you know, I understand that there's good professionals out there, but I also recognize that they could have ended up in the hands of a lot of people that were either unscrupulous or don't know what to do. And I you know, it sounds funny to say, but I feel that I'm happy that they're working with me, because I know that I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to look out for their interests, not take advantage of them, and also steer them in the right direction as to what to do.
You know, it's funny as you say, because I was thinking, even though Golden Providers isn't, quote, a policing kind of organization, every member does sign a code of ethics when they join the organization. And that is a significant part of it, right? Is because we need businesses in Brevard County. I love to share the statistics from the Helping Seniors side of it, but it's true for everybody in Brevard County. You know, 1 in 4 people who live in Brevard County is over the age of 65. So by anybody's definition, that's a senior. 1 in 2 of us is over the age of 50. So I like to say it this way: in Brevard County, you either are a senior, love and care for a senior, God willing, live a little bit longer, and you will be a senior. So everything we're talking about is relevant for you. But my point was that with the Golden Providers organization, you're really making that difference. But also, as a business person who say, well, I might want to get involved in Golden Providers because I hear Tom talking about the networking opportunities. I might find business leads through some of the associations. But you're also going to find that level of expertise and learning that may help you expand, may open up new markets for you. But there was another thing Golden Providers has done over time is you as a marketing leader, you've led sessions where you've shown other businesses how to excel in their marketing. I remember Ashley Caswell, who's one of the board members with Golden Providers, you know, her role is she's like the senior corporate director of marketing for this entire chain of assisted livings. And she shared like how they use social media, ways that you could use social media to improve your own business. So there's actually a kind of a self-improvement component that comes in with all this too.
Yep. And the members of the group are showing up to help each other. And you know, with seniors is kind of the common denominator. At the same time, it's a group of people who are there to help each other. And there's a lot of people in that are members and that attend the meetings that are they refer people to each other just by default because their businesses overlap, and it's definitely worthwhile. And again, we're happy to simply be a resource as a network for if somebody's looking for someone who's understanding how to work with seniors, and they find out that, well, this person is an active member of Golden Providers, well, that's definitely a badge of merit. That could be a good thing. And other people could even just come and visit us, come and visit one of the groups and meet the individuals, even if they didn't want to join the group.
You know, so what typically happens in a Golden Providers meeting currently is that there is a program that runs for about an hour. Yeah. So it's not time intensive. It's not like you're going to join up this thing and now every minute of your spare time is going to be gone. It's literally 1 hour a month. But then lunch is served as soon as the meeting is over. So it's a great opportunity for everybody to network and chat. And because of the kind sponsorship from Hibiscus Court for that basically once you're a member, your lunch is included. So one way to look at it is you're just pre-buying lunch for the next year, but you're going to get a lot more out of your lunch hour than you might otherwise get. And I wanted you to talk about who might be a good prospect for somebody who says, hey, I should join Golden Providers. Who would that be? Yeah,
so somebody who currently works with seniors is great. In fact, that's the typical member since I've been involved past 7 years. On top of that, we would love to have anybody who, I meet people all the time through the Chamber of Commerce and through my job, and they actually are looking to promote their business, get some more flow. It could be anyone, a plumber, it could be an electrician, it could be a handyman, it could be a painter, it could be a general contractor, somebody who has a service and wants to promote it, and by being vetted by the board and knowing that they are somebody that would I feel comfortable referring them to my mom? If the answer is yeah, I know this person, I know they're the kind of person, they're trustworthy, and they want to be a part of it, they're going to get not only the business part of it, but they're also going to, over time, learn a lot of things that maybe they didn't know about how to deal with seniors better.
I love that. They got to pass the mom test.
The mom or grandma.
would you trust them with your mom? But that's a neat way to put it, because that's important. And I was going to say, it's also underscored by the fact, we live here in Florida. And I remember this because we've had a home in Florida since 1997. We've only been full-time Floridians since, I guess, about 2008. But it was funny, in 1997 when we bought our home here, the real estate agent said, well, don't expect this place to grow. We said, no, that's not, at the time we were living in Manhattan, we're like, that's the opposite of what we want. We want it nice and quiet. And yet what's happened now, here we are these years later, and look how fast Brevard County is growing. 650,000 people that we've talked about, but the number of people who are moving to Florida is just incredible. I assume you probably see that in your real estate business just as you do that, but it's a significant amount of people who are coming into Florida. They don't know who to call, they don't know who to trust, they don't know where to begin. It's not the thing like, oh, I've been in the community for 40 years, you call so-and-so for that. These people are starting from scratch, and guess what? In this day and age, there isn't really a yellow pages. You start Googling around and hoping you're going to hit the right thing. But talk about the value of Golden Providers as a resource in that. Yeah,
so that's true. It used to be that you had the yellow pages.
Yeah.
And in today's age, a lot of it is based on reviews or how many stars you have on whatever it may be, a website, whether it be Google reviews or Facebook reviews. But a lot of people prefer to ask somebody like, hey, can you refer to me a good plumber or painter or electrician? And that's the most important, that word of mouth. So being a part of a network like this is a great start. In fact, most of the time when people join a group and show up and show that they're worthy, their businesses grow to the extent that they almost need to expand, take on an extra helper or something. And that's literally what happens a lot of times when people show up and we're talking about a meeting that's only once a month.
Right.
But the demand is there, because probably one of the biggest problems I've heard of, and especially since the pandemic, is people can't get people to show up and help out with some practical things. Right. It's so hard to find people right now.
That's true. And that's one of the things about Golden Providers is it's a great resource to network into. And I was thinking about, even as you're talking about it, so number one, we have the number of people moving into Florida. We also have the number of people who are becoming seniors daily. I mean, it's like every time somebody has a 65th birthday or turns 50, they're going to get, when they turn 50, they're going to get a card from AARP, whether they like it or not. It's just part of the process. And so we might as well get comfortable with it and do the most. Now, getting to be a Golden Provider is not really difficult. You're free to just visit a meeting, right?
Yep. Absolutely, and it's probably what someone would want to do if they were considering joining, at least to come to one meeting, and if they like what they see, then joining us and being an official member is a pretty easy process.
Yeah, and you can get information about when the meetings are and the membership process, and it's very affordable, so there's not really a reason you wouldn't do that if you had an interest in excellence for the things you do with seniors. But you can get all that information at the Golden Providers website, which is goldenproviders.org. So again, that website is goldenproviders.org. And like you said, Tom, I think somebody might really enjoy just coming out to see a meeting, try it out, see if it fits.
Absolutely. I think if somebody came and saw the meeting, they probably would see the value of taking the step to become an official member.
So Tom Taranto, who is the president of the Golden Providers Organization, you can get the details about membership and how best to sign up. You can find all of that at goldenproviders.org, goldenproviders.org. It's a great business-to-business referral network, one that you probably want to take advantage of and certainly learn more about. Like I said, there's a YouTube channel, so if you want to go back and see what some of the meetings look like and things like that, that's another way you can get a sense for it. We will look forward to seeing you again on the next episode of Helping Seniors Television.
I'm Joe Steckler. Thank you for joining our program today. I'd like to remind you that our senior information line is available to you at 321-473-7770. There you can get help and direction that could be helpful for your specific situation or circumstances. The work of helping seniors is very important, but we can't do it alone. That is why our sponsors here in Brevard County are so important. I'd like to thank our many area sponsors, businesses and medical providers who support the mission of helping seniors that help us carry the cost of our media efforts. If you'd like to join us either as a business partner or simply donate as an individual, we would welcome your call at 321-473-7770. You are always welcome to visit our website at www.helpingseniorsofbrevard.org. Thanks so much for your help. It does make a difference.